G'day mates, welcome back to Emperor. This is round 2 for this mission. If you haven't seen the attempt at this beforehand, make sure to check out my previous episode. I did go through the basic setup and the introduction for this mission. I did, however, have a very unfortunate series of events which came together and just continually smashed me, knocked me down, and every time I tried to get back up again, I was brutally knocked down again. So we are back to the very, very early phase of the city. I've essentially put down the exact same blocks. I think I might be 1 or 2 tiles off, but for the most part, I think I've tried to recreate it exactly how I did it before, simply because it just seems like the most useful location, having everything where it was. I could build it up here, and I may avoid some of the issues that happened to me last time, but I think I can probably get through and survive it. I do like the idea of having the farms and the trade up here, simply because that is where the traders are actually going to come in from. So, wait, let's get cracking. Okay, we are halfway through the second year now. So I've set up the farms. We didn't get a harvest in the first year, but I'm not particularly bothered with that. I've got a little bit of salt set up down here, and we're currently exporting it for, whatever it's worth. It'll pay for the salt to be produced. It'll pay for the setup over the course of the game, and it will allow me to have an extra bit of food, food level as we go on. It's not a huge amount of money, but it will cover itself, hopefully. Up here we've got fairly basic farm setup. I've got more room up here for probably 1 more food and possibly another hemp farm. I think 2 hemp is more than sufficient. 1 is probably borderline sufficient. So, when I get the unemployment, I can work on it. Now, we currently do have a little bit of unemployment, which is sort of divvied up here. I haven't gone for fishing this time. What I'm doing instead is trying to get the farm set up, and I'm importing, although I probably was a little bit late. I didn't think about it until partway through the plan. But I'm going to be importing a fair bit of rice from Chengdu, who will buy our weapons, and I will be importing a small amount of wheat from Chang'an, the people who are supplying our iron. So hopefully that will keep us all going and ticking over nicely. With these food sources here, we'll have more than sufficient to keep us ticking over, and with the salt, it'll give us a 5th one if required, just for a little bit of balance. But I think I'm actually going to stop them getting the salt for the time being, so they can eat whatever's in there, and then we'll get over it quite quickly. Now, employees are holding steady, but we're about to level up, and it's going to get a massive amount of unemployment shortly. Okay, the city has developed up further. I've just placed the first infantry fort down. In fact, it will be the only infantry fort, simply because we cannot get any other forts. Now, what we need to level up our nobles, I had originally planned this noble quarter, and I built it again, just not thinking, because I'm just obviously not thinking. But I will probably throw a couple of nobles in there for some tax revenue or something. But I mean, our cash is holding on reasonably well so far. But I can't level them up to the point where they will actually give me more military forts. So I'm stuck with this single fort, because I can't build a palace. So I'm pretty much going to have to manage that one fort. Now, I'm very, very low on cash. I really do need to start gifting the gods before they get massively pissed off at me. So let's move on to let's get this stuff taken care of as well. But we're also going to need to prepare the military for when the attacks begin to come. Now, I may be able to bribe them off if I can get a shit ton of cash from somewhere, but for the time being, we're very low on cash. Okay, we have briefly gone into debt, and Chang'an is giving us a little bit of cash. I've thrown down this trading thing here because bean curd sells for nearly the same price as salt. We've got more than sufficient extra amounts of it, so I figured we'd sell off as much as we can there. It's only it's 36 per year, which is a few thousand strings of cash. That may keep us. Needs weapons. Okay, let's stockpile this up. And that could be a problem because we do need to import the iron, and they don't seem to be selling us a huge amount. Let's get a couple of weapons and send those off. Okay, that's the weapons sent off. Very, very easy. We can probably continue exporting them because we are going to need the cash. Now, we need more iron to come in. They're not sending us any more gifts. We really just need to buy in as much as we can. I'm going to stop importing wheat for the time being because we've got so much food. 9 trays of fish, we don't have that. Can I get it? Probably. Probably not in time, but I can probably get it set up for the next time. I prefer not to have to spend this cash, but first of all, you're not going to get fish at all. And then what we can do is simply throw a little warehouse down here, and that'll absorb the where are we? Fish. That'll accept all the fish. Now that should, yeah, that'll travel up far enough. So that'll get all the fish brought in as we need it. It's not going to be a massive amount. Employees are needed. I can just throw that back up. Now, there we go. Things are ticking over quite nicely. We're still building this in the background. I've produced that. Now all I need to do actually is work on Months of Heroes. So, Gift of Iron, thank you. If I start working on that now, I think what I'll be able to do is win this, hopefully, before things go too far south. Okay, Huangdi has arrived. Assuming I can keep the city held together until then, it'll be 32 months until we win. Okay, trade with Yin now has opened up. With that, we can start exporting our ceramics. For some reason, it took a long time to open. The dude must have got lost in transit. Sell as many ceramics as we can, which is not a huge amount, but will keep us afloat. We'll start making a little bit extra money from what we've currently got. We seem to be holding up reasonably well. Assuming nothing goes massively wrong, I think we're going to be able to hopefully bring this to a victory. If we keep him exalted and keep this construction going, we're doing reasonably well there. And here we go, massive earthquake. We've got 4,000 strings of cash roughly in the bank. Let's see if we can pull through and survive. Employees are needed. I'm giving... Holy fuck. Actually, we didn't lose the entire city, and we only lost the... If I stop pushing that button, we only lost pretty much the entirety of the poor quarters, and the slightly richer quarters are still reasonably intact. So, with that, what I think I can do is get these guys leveled back up again. If I get some housing down with our cash, let's see how much damage was lost up here. Most of our production facilities are down. The trade there's down. We've got one weaponsmith. Probably... I think we got really lucky this time. We didn't lose that much. We should be able to rebuild quite quickly by getting these all placed down and then leveled up. What I'm probably going to do now is give them ceramics and just completely ignore this sector over here for the time being. So if I throw down a ceramic shop... Okay, we are back. I had a crash there, and it looks like we are pre-earthquake. Fairly, not huge amount. We've got yin. Let's throw yin down again. And you can export ceramics. Okay, hopefully we get just as lucky with that earthquake again. So what happened previously was we lost this area, but we didn't lose much of this area here. So hopefully the same thing happens, and the majority of our major core structures stay standing. It'll be coming up very shortly, and we'll see if we can survive it just as easily. Okay, here we go, earthquake yet again. Let's see if we can actually survive this one. So it does seem to be focused on this region up here, perhaps. That's where it jumps to. How much am I losing here? Is that it? Is that the end of it? Holy shit, that is the best earthquake I think I've ever had. I think I'm lucky for that crash. I don't know, it seems like the earthquake glitched out and only destroyed that one building. That is really lucky. So, Happy New Year indeed. So either way, the previous earthquake left the majority of this block standing, about, maybe a third to a half of it, and by throwing those houses down and leveling it up by throwing down a ceramic shop here, that would have allowed me to recover very, very easily without having massive unemployment. As it currently stands, I don't need to level it up. We just need to... Hanan launches an invasion. That's a little bit of a problem, so I'll keep Huangdi on here. Keep him happy. And there we go. Keep him somewhere in the city. Where is he? Where is Huangdi? He's up here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is put him over... over here. I'm assuming they're going to come from either the northeast, the north, or... I mean, they could come from down here, perhaps, but that seems a little bit unlikely. Either way, for the time being, I'm going to keep Huangdi up here. That earthquake just completely bugged out. I guess I'm lucky that the game crashed there, because it brought me up even better than I was before. Hanan appears to be bringing another invasion, but we just keep ticking away here, and we should be able to win, hopefully, before things go too far. Okay, Hanan has launched invasion. We have sufficient cash to bribe them, but that is not my playstyle. Let's see if we can take them down. They're coming here in the northwest. Let's fight to defend the city. Absolutely dominated that invasion force. So with that, we can send these guys back to their fort, and you can just hang around and stay as happy as you want to, because we need you for a couple more months before we can claim victory. Now the Great Temple is approaching the final stages. We need to just drop off the clay. Now of course clay can't just be delivered from a clay pit. It has to be taken from a warehouse. So I've set just 4 clay aside and 28 ceramics just to ensure that I always have some clay able to be delivered. And there we go, Great Temple completed. With that should have brought up Nuwa to Exalted as well, so I'm going to leave Huangdi to disappear at some point, and maybe Nuwa can come in. Stuff, and I'll just keep giving him, what's his name? Huangdi happy. There's no point sending in Nuwa, that'll just take longer. Wow, Year of the Rabbit, let's go for an improved production yield. I can't do special gifts because I have no palace, so I'll get nothing particularly useful. Kilns, clay pits, millet fields, there you go. At least kilns and clay pits are relatively useful there. I can use that to just gift up all the beautiful, beautiful ceramics I have. Chang'an has sent off a request for weapons. We can dispatch those quite easily. I'm also in the process of setting up my little, what's the word? A nice little noble quarters here. I don't actually need it. It's not going to give me anything that I'm not going to get any other way. But I figured I'd just throw a little bit of effort in to at least beautify the area up. This is what I originally planned. I'm not going to go to all the depth and effort that I did the first time. I'll just throw a few of these things down and hope for the best. And here we go, 2 months remaining, the city is ticking over, absolutely beautiful. We're about to head onwards to victory very, very shortly. Surprisingly easy, and other than basically a small glitch in the matrix there where the game crashed as I unpaused after the earthquake, we've actually come out of it really, really nicely. Let's have a nice big Happy New Year celebration and wait for the final months to tick over.
Our wise and beneficent leader, Han Wudi, is pleased with your ability to juggle a city's administrative matters and its defense. Thanks to your skills, the proud city of Lolang and its elegant Great Temple now shine forth like a bright beacon of Han culture.
And there we go, guys. Lolang completely beaten the second time round. The first time, if you haven't seen that, make sure to check out the first part of the video. I'm actually going to put it up because it's a fairly comprehensive video. It's actually going to cover most of the city in terms of the setup, the reasons I'm doing things, how I'm playing. It was only really when I got to the earthquake when it wiped out every single building I had, just after I'd done a big expansion and spent all my money. And then I got multiple invasions. I managed to gradually rebuild and get things done, but being a vassal of the invaders basically meant that I couldn't do anything. When they came to invade me a second time, they completely wiped me out, and I didn't really have a time to rebuild, not being able to get more military forts. But anyway, that's this time Lolang. This is a different parallel universe where we did actually win. Let's head onwards to the next episode, guys. If you do indeed enjoy all this Emperor content, smash that thumbs up button and let me know. Drop a comment, let me know exactly what you like about it. And if it's not quite to your taste, of course, thumbs down button is there waiting. But at the very least, drop a comment, let me know how to improve. Take care, guys. I'll be seeing you around.